My dear friends, today I'll be discussing about various sign symptoms of hypertrophic obstructive cardiomyopathy. Now before that, we should know something about hypertrophic obstructive cardiomyopathy. Now hypertrophic obstructive cardiomyopathy, it has many names, or it is also known as hypertrophic cardiomyopathy or asymmetric septal hypertrophy. It is also called subaortic stenosis, hypertrophic subaortic stenosis, and it is also called HOCM or hypertrophic obstructive cardiomyopathy, and and left ventricular outflow tract obstruction also. It is also known as left ventricular outflow tract obstruction because one of the important pathophysiological finding in hypertrophic obstructive cardiomyopathy is left ventricular outflow tract obstruction. Now what is happening in the hypertrophic obstructive cardiomyopathy? Now from the name itself, hypertrophic means some hypertrophy has already taken place. So it actually here there is a hypertrophy of the heart muscle, especially interventricular septum is involved, and there is a asymmetric hypertrophy, especially it involves the interventricular septum which is of ventricular side or facing the left ventricle, not facing the right ventricle. Mostly it involves the interventricular septum which faces the left ventricle, and thus it causes left ventricular outflow tract obstruction because of asymmetrical hypertrophy of the interventricular septum towards the left ventricle, and that's why it compromises the left ventricular chamber volume as the same time, as well as it also causes left ventricular outflow tract obstruction. The disease is common in 1 in 500 individuals, and both male and female are equally prone to this disease, and it is also found in children, and in pediatric age group also it also leads to cardiomyopathy. And there are many risk factors, but mostly it is genetic. More than 50 to 60% of the disease is because of genetic and familial occurrence and inheritance. So it is genetic mutation in the gene responsible for sarcomere length or cytoskeletal protein or heart muscle is responsible for causing the disease. Now the hypertrophic obstructive cardiomyopathy, it involves three important changes in the heart. Number one is asymmetrical hypertrophy of the interventricular septum or heart muscle. So it causes either interventricular septum hypertrophy or other parts of the heart, especially ventricular side, and mostly left ventricular wall may be involved, or also interventricular septum is most commonly involved. And second most important changes is stiffness of the left ventricle. Here the left ventricle becomes very stiff, and because of that it cannot undergo diastolic relaxation, so blood cannot be filled up during the diastole, so it also leads to less amount of blood pump out during the cardiac output. So that because of that there is some the cardiac efficiency also decreases. There is fall in cardiac efficiency, and it may lead to heart failure in the future if it is not intervened in right moment. Another important changes is that there is a heart valvular changes, especially mitral valvular aperture is affected because of subaortic stenosis or idiopathic hypertrophic subaortic stenosis or asymmetrical hypertrophy of the interventricular septum. It causes outflow tract obstruction, and because of this outflow tract obstruction it causes defect in the mitral valve aperture, and because of that there is a chance of leakage of some blood into the through mitral valve into the left atrium, and that is called mitral regurgitation. Now so mitral regurgitation or mitral valvular defects may also be seen. So three important pathophysiological changes that may occur in hypertrophic obstructive cardiomyopathy is left ventricular stiffness, then asymmetrical hypertrophy of the interventricular septum, as well as mitral valvular aperture defect or mitral valvular defect like mitral regurgitation. So these are the various changes of the hypertrophic obstructive cardiomyopathy, and one of the important pathophysiological changes overall is left ventricular outflow tract obstruction. So there is obstruction of the left ventricle because of the asymmetrical growth, so heart has to overcome a great resistance in pumping out the blood, and because of that the complication or sign symptoms of the disease appears. depending on the severity of the disease. Now we'll discuss about the signs and symptoms of the disease. So most of the patients may remain asymptomatic or without any clinical features or clinical presentations, even in spite of they may have genetic mutation for causing the disease, or they may have a past history or family history of their suffering from the same disease. Their siblings or their parents or any near relatives may have the same disease in their family, or the disease may be found to present, or they found the genetic testing their gene responsible for the disease may be present in a particular individual, but still the disease may be without any sign symptoms or without any clinical features in many individuals. So patient may be asymptomatic in the earliest or in early stage of the disease, but with time many sign symptoms may be there, like feeling tired, then then swelling of the legs, then lightheadedness, fainting, syncopal attacks may be there. Beside, chest pain may be there, and fainting may be there. So shortness of breath, fainting, chest pain, all those things may be some of the important clinical features and sign symptoms of the hypertrophic obstructive cardiomyopathy. Now, the SOB may be because of because of congestion of blood in the left atrium, give a back pressure on the pulmonary veins, so there may be pulmonary hypertension, which may create the dyspnea or shortness of breath. And angina may be there because of heart muscle is not getting blood supply, because cardiac output is less because of left ventricular outflow tract obstruction, or because of the septal hypertrophy, blood coming out from the left ventricle is less, and that's why the heart muscle is also getting less blood supply. So with exercise or with exertion, the heart muscle undergoes ischemic changes leading to chest pain or angina. So in some patients, angina sign symptoms or chest pain may be there, and the mechanism is behind the left ventricular outflow tract obstruction. Beside, lightheadedness or fainting or loss of consciousness, then syncopal attack may be seen in some patients. So patients, most common sign symptoms may be feeling tired, then leg swellings may be there, then shortness of breath may be there, fainting, lightheadedness, syncopal attacks may be there. And again, one important thing I should try to mention is that HOCM is one of the important cause of sudden cardiac death or sudden cardiac arrest. So hypertrophic obstructive cardiomyopathy in athletes or on severe strenuous exercise may also lead to sudden cardiac death. So this is because of many risk factors. Some risk factors like prior cardiac arrest, then ventricular fibrillation, then ventricular tachycardia, then syncopal attacks, fainting attacks may ultimately increase the risk of sudden cardiac death in these patients who are suffering from HOCM. So again, I am telling, most of the cases or most of the patients of HOCM, they are asymptomatic or without any sign symptoms or without any presentation, in spite of they are genetically found to be positive for HOCM or hypertrophic obstructive cardiomyopathy. But some patients, with the progression of the disease, may show some clinical features like shortness of breath, chest pain, giddiness, lightheadedness, swelling of the legs, fainting. These are the various changes which are responsible for sign symptoms of the disease. Another important cause is that when hypertrophic obstructive cardiomyopathy may lead to sudden cardiac arrest. So various risk factors like ventricular tachycardia, prior cardiac arrest, and then syncopal attacks may increase the risk of getting sudden cardiac death or ventricular tachycardia or sudden cardiac arrest in patients who are suffering from HOCM. So these are the various sign symptoms of the disease. Beside, the HOCM may also complicate to various diseases like heart failure, then mitral valve prolapse or mitral regurgitation, then sudden cardiac arrest, and that time the clinical features may be presented according to the complication of the disease. Thank you very much.